morning, everyone. Shalane Davis here from My Fit Mom's Journey. So the time has finally come. I've been able to find the time to make the soups that we were talking about. So we're gonna make the cauliflower potato soup. It's like a keto soup. And then we're gonna make also just a regular potato soup for my family. I'm gonna make them both kind of at the same time. They use very similar ingredients. Come along with me as we make this soup. Every good soup starts with bacon. So I'm going to make the cauliflower potato soup in the Instapot, and the other one I'm just gonna make on my stove in a pot. Right now I'm just going to chop these up into like 1-inch pieces. What we're gonna do is we're gonna render this fat, and I'm gonna do a half in each one. Get this going on salt, and then I'm gonna throw this in here. If you came along with me yesterday, we've already cut up our onions, we've already cut up our celery, we are ready to go. Same thing, I'm just gonna start by cooking our bacon first. You guys having a good Sunday? It's not too hot out here. It's a good day to kind of stay inside, kind of gloomy. So our Instapot is going to get probably done before the other one because it just seems to have a really good saute feature. If you were just doing one soup, I highly recommend an Instapot because it's just all in one pot. That's a good thing. Another tip that I have for you is I always have celery that I've eaten most of, and I just put it into my freezer. It's just like this. So when you just want the flavor, you can pull out a few frozen pieces, chop up, and you're gonna saute it with your onions anyway. You won't even notice that it was frozen at one point. You can thaw them out a little bit if you want to. If I'm doing this at the same time, I think I'd probably recommend pulling it straight out frozen, because whenever I pulled it out yesterday and put it in my fridge, it's got a little weird texture and it's pretty watery. So maybe recommend doing that instead. The pot has some different settings, so I'm going to adjust that to the medium saute. That way I can get some more color on the bottom when I throw my onions, which we already have right here, and I throw my celery in there. Then we'll get that delicious caramelization that we got on our pan over here. We'll get that off of there. Let me take you over there and show you the deliciousness that we got here. Getting some good color on that bacon. Not too much in the Instapot yet. Maybe it'll happen. It looks like our Instapot is not as fast as I thought. For that. For my family, we are going to use a 1/4 cup of flour. For mine, we're not. Okay, our bacon is cooking nicely finally. I'll line it with a paper towel. It looks like a hot, nice crispy bacon here. Good caramelization on that pan. I did turn it down so it doesn't get burnt. It's starting to get crispy. We're going to take our one pot to the next step, which is adding our celery. Since it's for my family, I know they're weird about textures. I'm just going to add some celery here. They don't like a ton. They just want a little bit of flavor. So we're just going to do that, and the rest is going to be for my soup. Okay, so you ever notice that when you cook bacon, they all just come from anywhere? My husband's already stole some of our bacon, so it's okay. Everybody loves bacon, right? So I went ahead and I've got my onions and my celery going in here. Let's cook that for a minute. And this is where I will give it its own tune. Not that I'm scared of any bit of flour, but I like to keep them separate. Got my plate back here. Now we're ready to take the Instapot to the next step. We're going to throw in our onions, every last one. Okay. Throw in our celery. I don't mind celery, so I'm going to do the whole rest of it. Give it a stir. Try to get some of those brown bits off of the bottom. If you don't know anything about the healthier swaps, like when you do that. Anyway, what I was saying, for theirs, you use a flour mixture to thicken it. For this, you actually just blend up the cauliflower soup after, and that gets it thick. So, two different kind of concepts here, but one doesn't use the white flour and one does. Okay, so we're going to add enough water to cover the potatoes and try to get them sauteing a little bit. Bring that to a boil, and we're going to soften our potatoes. So, now we're on to this one. Got this nicely. Now we're going to add our cauliflower. Let's scoot all this stuff out of the way here. Not seasoned anything, but we'll definitely add salt and pepper. I'm just putting these in littler pieces, and then I'm going to turn my Instant Pot on for about 4 minutes. I don't know if you guys do that with your soups. Bring it up to pressure and cook it for like 4 or 5 or 6 minutes, depending on what soup you're making. But it pressure cooks it, and it goes so much faster. We're not going to eat this soup right now. Obviously, we're going to eat it probably for dinner. All we have to do is I'll probably keep mine in the Instant Pot on low or on warm, to be honest. And theirs, we'll probably just take off the thing. Maybe decide to put it in the fridge, but maybe we'll just, keep it on a lower until dinner. On Sundays, typically, we have some of our family that comes up. We try to do a bigger dinner on Sundays. During the August, I have some things that I do at my church on Monday nights, and so I try to make sure that my family is set up for dinner for Monday nights, and I do that by making a bigger dinner on Sunday. Okay, so we do that with that. I'm gonna come stir our cauliflower real quick. Some good flavoring on there. Okay, I'm gonna bring this guy up to a boil. I think I switched spoons because I took the flowers off of it. Bring this guy up to a boil. Potato soup does freeze okay. It doesn't freeze perfect. It freezes okay. So if you're wanting to make it and stuff, just know it won't need 100% the texture. But still, if you have extra, you can easily freeze it. So. Add some flavors here. It looks like I'm out of pepper. So we're gonna take up here. We'll refill that pepper here a little bit. So with our Instant Pot, we have to have a cup of some kind of liquid. So I'm going to use my chicken broth that we didn't can, but we froze. I'm just going to eyeball it, make more than a cup probably. You know what? I'm just going to go for it. Maybe even add a little more to get that out of there. And that's plenty. So we're going to bring that up to pressure. Do you know that one of the tricks with the Instant Pot is if you leave it on saute for like a minute, whenever it's got the liquid in there, it'll come up to pressure so much faster because your liquid will be warmer. So there's your tip for the day. Okay, so we've got our bacon, we've got our cauliflower, we've got our potatoes. Now, while we're waiting for that, we are going to make some homemade croutons. Let me tell you, they're delicious. You can do it a couple different ways. I just have some leftover garlic bread that my family didn't eat when we had some spaghetti, so I'm just going to turn that into croutons. And then I have some sourdough bread that I made that I'm going to have for croutons. So, like I said, I usually make them something and then me something separate, which usually doesn't take that much longer. I'm usually doing the process anyway. It's just the ingredients are a little bit different. So let me grab one of my big baking sheets here. Okay guys, about 45 minutes has passed. Our Instant Pot got done 39 minutes ago. So it might even have been longer than that, but see, it's already came to where it's released the pressure and I don't have to worry about it. So now I'm going to take a fork and I'm going to see if it's tender. Oh, and it definitely is. So my cauliflower's ready. Oh, yay, my potatoes are almost ready. So we're gonna go ahead and finish up our cauliflower first. Looks like it says to garlic, onion, celery, chicken stock, salt, pepper. And then I'm going to add some half and half. I'm gonna add that to both soups, but I'm definitely gonna add it to the cauliflower one. Probably about a quarter cup, maybe a third, not sure. Just did it by eyeball, and then now add some cheddar cheese. I get this as a double pack from Sam's, very reasonable. It's probably the best price on cheese. I'm going to just kind of blend this up with my immersion blender. So see if I can actually get one of my apples to work here. What's going on with that? Okay. See if I can pull you over here. Okay. If you've never used an immersion blender, there's a little bit of a trick to it. You don't want to just push it in there and leave it in there. It's kind of more of a, I'll just kind of show you. It kind of scares me because this liquid's very hot. Don't want to pull it out. See if you kind of just hold it to the, tilt it a little bit, then it kind of sucks it all in there. Okay guys, it really did make a creamy soup. Now we're going to taste it and see what we're needing here. Now it's gonna be hot, so I'm gonna give myself a second. Okay, be honest, it doesn't taste like anything right now. It needs a lot more salt, a lot more salt, a lot more pepper. I actually called for garlic powder. I did not put that in there because I thought maybe that would not be a good move, but I'm gonna try it. And then I think I'm gonna add a little bit of, it's probably not one of the most cleanest ingredients, but it's a way to get your soups and some of your things. It's basically, you make chicken bouillon with it by just adding water. It's really good for helping your soups have some flavor. So I'm just gonna stir that around, but it's very creamy. I mean, you wouldn't know that we didn't add flour, so that's a good thing. And then it's just gonna sit. I am gonna add some bacon to it. I am going to top it with bacon later. But if I put bacon in this now and some cheese, I think it's gonna get us where we need to be, so. That's much, much better. Okay, so I'm gonna add some more bacon in here. And I'm gonna add a good handful of cheese. Probably about a half cup. We always put cheese on top also, so we don't have to do a whole bunch of cheese right now. But I'm actually very impressed at how creamy that is. I was not expecting that. I don't know that you could trick anyone and say that it was potato soup. I'll try, but you know, it's okay. I got that cheese pull going on. That's pretty cool. Gonna add some more salt. And I'm just gonna let this go on low until I eat it tonight. I can always doctor it up, but I think that's a success. I think it's gonna be delicious. Have a piece of bacon for me. And now we're gonna move on to my family soup. With theirs, I am also going to use the immersion blender. I'm going to be a little more careful because this is a very hot liquid and it's deep. So I just kind of give it some pulses. We actually do like some chunks in our potato soup, so I think I'm going to call that good there. And I'm going to get out my handy dandy meat smasher. I'm going to chop up our big pieces. I can't talk today. So right now it kind of looks just more like a potato gravy. What you do here in a minute is you just, I am going to taste this. I bet you I am going to need some seasoning in here because this is a lot of potatoes and we did not account for that many potatoes. So it's very thick. Yeah, it has like no salt whatsoever. So let's go ahead and do that. I am gonna add some of our bouillon to this one too, because we added a lot of water so that we can do our potatoes. To give it a flavor, we're gonna do that. I'm going to turn this down to low. And then once I get this all mixed in, this is when we're gonna add probably, a cup of milk and maybe even like a cup of half and half. It actually calls for a lot more milk, and I may end up making this soup way too big, but that's okay. We'll eat it eventually. I'm excited to try this cauliflower soup. I mean, I don't mind eating potato soup. I'm just gonna go ahead and finish it because there was not that much in there, so. And that's gonna make it this delicious soup color that, you know, we all know and love. And then, once we add some bacon, once we add some cheese, that's just gonna be where we wanna be. I wanna make sure I don't have any big chunks. I want some chunks, but I don't want big chunks. How do you guys like your potato soup? Do you guys like it with sour cream and bacon and cheese, or do you just like it, I mean, do you like it with croutons? Do you ever make homemade croutons? I'm not gonna try it yet. Go ahead and add some more of our bacon. And we'll probably have to make some to put on top because I know my husband, and he's very picky. Isn't she pretty? Okay guys, so our soup is done. It's only 12:23, so we're gonna have it for dinner tonight. We will just plan on, you know, stirring all this in and getting it all just to settle. Like I said, I'm probably just gonna turn this either on low or off and just let it sit all day long. Let those flavors meld together, and I will try to take you guys along with me when I make the croutons. I will do my best. It's really hard when my family's running around and none of them want to be on a video, or they don't want to be heard, they don't want to be seen, so I will do my best. Okay, so I've got them in the air fry function on my stove. I gave them another spritz of oil, and basically you're just gonna toast them. I'm also gonna scoot them over because my son wants some nuggets. He's a little picky, so I'll go ahead and pull that out and get him some nuggets going. Okay, this is several hours later. I would almost venture to say that if you didn't know the difference, they look very similar. This one is the cauliflower. This one is the regular. So I'll look forward to eating it. I've got my croutons cooking away. Ooh, we're already getting some nice color on the ones. I might flip them around. But yeah, delicious dinner. Okay guys, it's later on in the evening. We've made our delicious croutons. I don't know if you can quite see them. Got two different kinds, that's how you will see. You've got my sourdough ones in the back and just the regular white ones from hamburger buns and hot dog buns. So I've got my soup there. I've got their soup here. Got my bowl right here. Got most of the mess is cleaned up, so thank you for hanging out with me. I appreciate you spending time with me, and I hope that you got value out of this video. If you do, consider liking and subscribing. I make videos like this all the time, so if you want to, follow me. All right, bye.